Hello everyone, I'm Ranryu. I'm one of the raid marshals for Light Tempest, and I'm going to be talking a little bit about Guardian tanking. Guardian tanking's a bit near to dear to my heart. This is my first character that I had on the game, and I have never left tank spec at all. I love it, I enjoy it, it is my friend. However, there are a couple things about Guardian tanking which either go left unnoticed or aren't really uh, used very often. So I'm going to start out this video and probably make a couple more videos, but this video is going to be mostly about my screen as it is right now. Don't worry about T7. T7's awesome, but we're not going to worry about companions at the moment. As you'll see, I do have the two sidebars up already. What I do is certain abilities do not need to be used all the time. So I keep things like Heroic Moment, good old Soa for rehealing, Force Might, my lightsaber forms. I keep my lightsaber forms over there because you never know when you might need that extra little bit of DPS by switching over to Shicho. So I keep those over there. Sprint, just the ball toss, just for fun. There are a couple of actual techniques over here on the left. Force push is over here. As a tank, I know force push and other knockbacks can be fun, but they can be also really, really bad to use in the middle of a raid. There's nothing worse than having heals get set up and everything. AOE heals are down, and all of a sudden you just shove something out of the way. You ruin everything that's going on by using force push. So it gets put over there. If I need it, it's available, but I don't. But it's not something that I can accidentally hit. At the same time, Inur can be fun, but it's one of those abilities that you have to make sure you warn the healers that you're going to use, because as it says, it boosts your maximum health by 30% for 20 seconds. But at the end, all of that extra stuff is lost. So if you're using it as an oh shit button, you get a quick 30% boost, and then they might think you're okay, and then all of a sudden, your HP drops drastically. Not a good thing. Guardian Leaps over here, it's useful. I don't really use it a lot. I probably should use it more than I do, but my healers and everybody are really good about keeping threat down, so it doesn't see a whole lot of use. Guard, however, there's two trains of thought. One is you put the guard on healers and you make sure that the healers don't get attacked. The other train of thought is you put it on your highest DPS. I kind of use a different both. It really depends on the fight. Sometimes you need it for the healers, sometimes you need it on the DPS. As a tank, you have to keep track of your own people as much as the enemy sometimes. On my right side, you see I got fleet passes, quick travel, speeders. The antiviral kit, always useful for when you're fighting the Rakghouls. Sprint, rocket boost. Rocket boost is my friend. And then I've got my, the med packs and pyro grenades, and I don't know where those went, but I'm going to get some more of those shield and adrenals and put those over there too. And then you have awe, or it's more of awe. It really doesn't do a whole lot in raiding, so Doesn't see a whole lot of use. I'm gonna go down here, cover the oh shit buttons. Saber Reflect, pretty good. Reflects single target attacks. Make sure you know this. Single target. Won't do jack shit against any kind of AoEs that might hit you. Only works for 3 seconds, but it's a lot of damage that can be reflected back in 3 seconds, especially if you have a big group. Don't be afraid to use this. It has a 1 minute cooldown. Saber Ward, I'll admit, if you're an older player, you've probably gotten away from using a lot of Saber Ward. For a while, it really didn't do a whole lot. However, with the changes and everything, you'll be able to see it here in a moment, because you got my defense, which is defense chance is currently 27.85. If I hit Saber Ward, my defense chance is now 177 for a couple moments, and then it's 77.85. Probably not going to be hit. Last 12 seconds, sometimes 12 seconds is all you need. Focus Defense is a really good one. The one restriction on Focus Defense is that you have to be below 70% in order to use it. It'll still keep working after you use it, but your initial HP has to be below 70%. I usually pop it when I hit about 50, just to try and keep the healers out, because if I'm down to 50% health, the healers are probably having troubles keeping the DPS up. So it happens a little bit more with the really chaotic fights where there's a lot of adds. Warding Call, good all-around defense. Reduces all damage taken by 40% for 15 seconds. Again, if your healer's having trouble keeping you up, or you know that you're going to be taking a couple of hits that are going to be really painful, pop this. Let the healers have some fun and not have to worry about you dying. I keep Saber Throw down on the bottom row and Force Sleep up on the top. The reason for this is because Force Sleep is something that I generally use to start a fight. Could I use Saber Throw? Yes, but with the changes that they made in 4.0, Saber Throw no longer really has a minimum range. So I can get all the benefits of using Saber Throw without having to be at a range. So starting the fight with Force Sleep, always a good idea. Then you have your normal rotation. Warding Strike, Hilt Bash, Guardian Slash. Hilt Bash and Guardian Slash are going to be your two mainstay threat makers. You want to use those when they pop up. In addition, Warding Strike gives you an increased damage reduction of 3% for 20 seconds. It also gives you 6 focus. It might not increase your threat a whole lot, but you want to keep this up for your safety reasons. Then you have Blade Storm. Blade Storm's is just a really good, solid attack, which if you're a tank, it gives you a blade barrier, which will reduce some of your damage. I keep Riposte down here. It's a nice little attack. It's used immediately after defending, so you'll see it pop up fairly regularly as a tank. I use it. I pop that as long as the top 4 are not on. If these 4 are in cooldown, then I'll pop Riposte. Force Sweep, it does solid damage. I like it. Other people may not. Other people probably use Slash. Meh. It's, 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. For Stasis, I keep it over on the side just because it does have the long cooldown. But because it's not a channeled attack for us, there's no reason not to keep it up. So, pop it when you have a chance, always after these 4 are all on cooldown. If they are on cooldown, you're waiting on things, toss in a Blade Dance. It's solid damage. All damage is good damage. Dispatch, once the target is down at 30%, there is unless Dispatch is on cooldown, there is no reason not to use this over Force Sweep or Slash. Once he's below 30%, this is damage, and damage is always threat. Cyclone Slash, that and Force Sweep are your 2 AoE. So you wanna make sure that if you're doing AoE damage, those are the 2 that you're tossing out as much as possible. Force Kick is our interrupt. Yeah. 12-second cooldown. It's all good. Just make sure you don't forget about it. There's a lot of times where us as tanks, we have to make sure that we hit it too. Keep it available. Now our new one is Blade Blitz. And I'm not sure what to think. You've got a 100% defense chance while you're using the Blade Blitz, but you move. And if I need to get somewhere while in a fighting, sure, I'll probably try to use it. But if it's a normal battle, I'm not going to touch it too much. I've already had a couple of instances where I've accidentally hit it and I was not thrilled. And then, of course, you always have your good old Resolute over here. Keep this one available. It is your friend. But that covers my basic outline for the UI. I will see you later. Take care.